This is KGW News at Sunrise.
It's unfortunate that it's come to this, but no, I'm not really surprised at this point.
There's only one day left to prevent teachers in Oregon's largest school district from going on strike. So coming up this half hour on Sunrise, what Portland parents need to know as their kids' teachers prepare to picket.
And it is the end of an era. Oregon's bow tie wearing, bicycling Congressman Earl Blumenauer won't be running for re-election. We'll have the details coming up.
Also a reminder, it is Halloween. Halloween morning in this house is all ready to go. Sunrise photographer Chad Dehart is at one of the most decked out Halloween homes in the area, and we're also told that this home is in a Lake Oswego neighborhood that gets flooded with trick-or-treaters, something like 400 kids.
Wow.
I thought you were going to say haunted, but flooded with trick-or-treaters, that's cool too.
That works.
Haunted house that's flooded with trick-or-treaters. Maybe both are in play tonight. So we're going to let you know exactly where this home is and more on the owner's efforts to decorate for the big night coming up a little bit later this half hour.
That is so cool. And it's nice that we get to see it and, you know, it's dry out.
Yes. Could there be pirate ships on the lake tonight, down there in Oswego Lake? Could
There you
be?
go. Yes, there might be, Rod. Haunted pirate ships.
Thank you very much. Here's a look at, what are we looking at? Wells Fargo camera.
This is your department.
Yes, thank you very much. As Christine mentioned, there is no rain chance this year. None. So you don't have to worry about keeping the costumes dry. We're at 38 right now out at the airport. It is another morning. We're on the west side especially. We have some frosty spots. There's Hillsborough at 32, down in Sherwood, 32 degrees. Where else? Sheridan, Kaiser, you're close. Down in Corvallis, good morning, 32 for you. But yesterday we made it to 60. Today I think we will too. We will see increasing cloud cover, so kind of a partly sunny to maybe mostly cloudy day eventually. I have us getting up to 60. I have evening temperatures tonight, staying above 50 during the trick-or-treat time. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Really comfortable stuff and really nice that it's dry. All right, the traffic map, all green this morning. We'll take you out to the Sylvan Hill. There's just a couple of cars making that westbound commute, so we are wide open on that side of town. The trip out of Clark County, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars going over the interstate bridge. We have a smooth morning commute. So far, so good, Christine.
Looking good. Thanks, Chris. Well, we've got a quick heads up for drivers in the downtown area. Southwest Taylor Street and 14th Avenue have reopened. You might remember a stretch of both roads closed more than 5 months ago after a fire gutted the May apartments. PGE restored power to traffic signals in the area on Friday, and then the barricades came down yesterday.
The Portland Public School District says it plans to provide families with 2 updates today regarding the final hours of negotiations to prevent a Portland teacher strike. The first update is scheduled for 1 o'clock this afternoon. If there's still no deal at that point, there will be a second update at 7 o'clock tonight to let parents know if their kids have school tomorrow. If teachers do go on strike, they'll picket outside 81 Portland Public Schools starting tomorrow. The teachers union continues to demand more pay, smaller class sizes, and more prep time for educators.
I currently do not have enough planning time to plan for my students to have a quality education. I don't have enough time to eat lunch some days.
A teacher strike means 45,000 kids would be out of school. And if the strike continues, the district says they'll text and email parents every night at 7 o'clock to give them an update.
And as the strike deadline approaches, we're answering some of your questions around what a strike could look like and how long one might last. Some of you asked whether PPS is required to keep paying teachers if they hit the picket lines. Our Pat Doris verified the question on the story.
We can verify no teachers will not get paid. The district has already said it will not pay teachers for strike days, although back pay could become a bartering chip and a possible settlement to get teachers back into the classroom if the strike actually happens. Most teachers are paid in an annual salary and generally are paid once a month, usually on the last working day of the month. You can understand now why the strike is set to begin on Wednesday, November 1st. Most teachers will be getting paid on Halloween, meaning they've got some breathing room since their next check would be a month later at the end of November. So if the strike does happen, but a settlement includes back pay, so then those checks at the end of next month would look the same as the previous checks. If there's not any back pay, then those checks will be short depending on how long the strike lasts. It's also worth noting that the union has said that teachers who participate in the strike will be eligible for $120 a day through the Oregon Education Association's Strike Relief Fund.
Again, that was Pat Doris reporting for us this morning. Meanwhile, next year's race for Oregon's 3rd congressional district is now wide open because longtime Democratic Congressman Earl Blumenauer announced he's not running again. Voters first elected Blumenauer to the Oregon House of Representatives in 1972. He later served on the Multnomah County Commission and Portland City Council before being elected to Congress in 1996. Blumenauer told OPB that when he leaves office at the end of next year, he plans to continue working in areas that he's passionate about, including bikes, transportation, and energy issues. Starting in 2 weeks, on Monday, November 13th, the city of Portland will start enforcing its daytime camping ban. City Council approved the ban back in July. Among other things, the ban calls for no camping at all on public property from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., no tents blocking entryways, and no camping near Portland schools. Violators will get 2 warnings. Anyone who violates the ban a 3rd time could face a fine, jail time, or both.
It's not right for us to have to keep moving our stuff when we have nowhere to put our stuff. So it's like, what are we supposed to do? Just lose all of our stuff every time and have to start over again?
Earlier this month, a group filed a class action lawsuit against the city claiming that the ban violates Oregon law and the state's constitution, so that case is still pending. One other note here, you shouldn't call 911 to report a camping ban violation. Instead, report it on the city's website or by calling 311.
Meanwhile, Governor Tina Kotek's task force to improve Portland's downtown area is set to present its plan at the Oregon Business Summit in December. The group met again yesterday. Kotek says the priorities include community safety, housing and homelessness, drug use, as well as downtown development. The governor recently spoke with the CEO of Union Pacific about addressing some of those issues on railroad property.
We talked about graffiti, like some of their more active spaces where people are tagging. Can we do something with that? How do we get those cleaned up? Can we put murals? We're talking about trash pickup. We will have a conversation about encouraging folks to get into the shelters that are being built as well.
Task force members will keep meeting in committees before presenting their plan later this year.
All right, before we check back in with Rod Hill and his Halloween forecast, a live look inside the brand new Ritz-Carlton Hotel in downtown Portland. Oh, yes. Get a good look, Rod, because I don't think you'll be spending much time inside there in the future.
That's the thing. It's fun to talk about, but the reality is none of us can afford to go there.
$12 a night.
Yeah, I read $600 a night, right? Rod, you willing to put down $600 a night for an overnight stay in downtown Portland?
My couch is pretty comfortable. It's fairly new, you know.
They are doing a ribbon cutting ceremony at 10 o'clock this morning. I mean, hopefully they're hoping that this new spot helps to revitalize downtown Portland, of course, right? So we'll have more on that coming up a little bit later. Devin Haskins will take another look inside as we roll on this Sunrise show. Tuesday morning edition of Sunrise, but more importantly, perhaps, a Halloween morning edition of Sunrise. So can we jump into the Halloween forecast?
All dry, so and comfortable temperatures. So really, there's absolutely no concerns. It's going to be about as nice as it can be on Halloween. How about that?
I like it.
Now, I do want to start with what's a bigger story in terms of my winter outlook, which I forgot about it, but here it comes. We're going to tease this right now. We're going to tell you right now that this Thursday on Sunrise is my winter outlook. For the most part, the work is done, and I just about finished up the graphic work last night. We'll spend a good 4 minutes plus talking about the pattern that I expect this winter, what that means for valley snow, what that means for mountain snow, what that means for our temperatures, what that means for potential windstorms. Every little nugget of information I can think of to look into, I looked into, and we'll have those results. Our track record is, I'm proud to say this because I put a lot of hours into this, hours and hours and hours. Is actually pretty good over the years. We were clipping it along at about a 65+% accuracy rate of what I say comes out to be true. And for seasonal outlook work, that's actually considered really good. Here's a look at what's going on right now. We have a lot of clouds out in the Pacific. And while these storms aren't particularly strong, they are particularly moist, if that makes sense. And indications are we could have 12 hours of fairly steady rain setting up the latter part of tomorrow into Thursday morning with pretty moist air coming in, and maybe that dumps an inch of rain. That's tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Wouldn't be anything stormy about it for the most part. Right now, we're all quiet. We are dry. You can, if you look carefully, you can see the clouds increasing here on the west side, and that's the forecast for today. Increasing clouds, kind of partly sunny to maybe mostly cloudy skies at times. It's another cool start. We've got 26 for you out in the Dalles right now, 32 down in Eugene. Kelso's freezing. 34 in Salem, so some freezing spots in Marion County. We've got PDX along the Columbia sitting at 38 degrees. We have Futurecast that shows kind of partly to mostly cloudy skies, but this is 7 p.m. tonight, the heart of the trick-or-treat hours, and there's nothing going on. It's completely dry. Away from the Columbia River, winds will be light. Temperatures this evening are going to be 50 or better. I'm really happy to tell you how nice it's going to be. And then this is tomorrow morning. The rain possible, the first wave in the morning hours. And then that moves through. Here we are noon with that lifting out. Here comes some heavier rain. This is the start of what will be steadier rain coming in later in the day. This is 5 p.m. tomorrow. And then that's a rainy evening. That was the front that could pass by daybreak Thursday morning. Some other weather models hold this up a little bit. Don't get it out of here until more like mid-morning Thursday. But all of that, weather models are insistent, gives us about an inch of rain coming through. So here's a 7-day. Today we hit 60, 50 or better this evening. Tomorrow the rain develops 56. Then look at the overnight lows. 53, 62 Thursday, 52, 61 Friday. It's a wet Friday night. It's a wet Saturday. This could be some wind out there Saturday morning. Sunday, again, 50 to 57. Very mild weather with a wet weather pattern starting tomorrow.